everybody to MultiTap Gaming. We are the MultiTap Gaming team. You know the drill by now. We're gonna get straight into it. There's a few topics that we're gonna talk about. We've got Am's top left.
You cool?
Andan top right.
Yo.
CJ bottom right.
Yeah.
And I'm one of your hosts, Chucks. Getting straight into it. Before we do that though, make sure you like, subscribe, and make sure that you come back and check out for new content in the future. But we're gonna keep this one sweet and short. What have we been playing this week, CJ?
I finished Wolfenstein now, and I flopped myself because I instead of picking the chapter, I started a new game. So I don't know if I'm going to platinum that anymore. So we won't even speak on it.
What exactly did you do?
I finished the game, and instead of picking the chapters I wanted to do, so I could finish the last trophies that I wanted to get, I restarted the game. So I pressed a new game, so it deleted the old data. So in order to do those levels now, I have to finish the whole game again.
Well, you know what you got to do then?
Nice burn.
Take
that L.
Jeez.
We're going to take that L.
And
what about you? How have you played?
Yeah.
The only game I really played this week is FIFA, to be honest, you know. What's it called? Apparently I have a big match coming up tonight or something like that. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think certain men are just talking and stuff like that. But
by the way, just to let you know what he's actually talking about. Whether you're watching this later on or if you're watching this live right now, there should be a stream up in possibly about an hour or two of basically Andan and Ams getting spanked by me and CJ and our teams. So make sure you watch that.
So you have to clarify. Yeah,
it's true. Pause, bad pause. But that's luckily we're not monetized yet. But anyway, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, what about you, Ams? What have you been playing this week?
What did I play? I've been playing FIFA, a bit of Volta. There was a unlock for Kaka, so I done that. There's a new one for Anthony and Joshua. I'll do that. I've also switched positions in Pro Club from striker to CM, so hopefully I'll be using that position to embarrass someone who's meant to be ultimate DM. I also played Phoenix, Immortals Phoenix Rising, which was good.
That was
slowly.
Good demo there. I've pretty much been doing the same thing. I've played FIFA, I've played Immortals on Stadia, and I've been getting back into The Witcher 3. I've just been way too hyped for Cyberpunk to come out, so I was just like, let me just play their last game. And yeah, I've really realized that 60 frames and PC gaming is good. I have my ups and downs with PC, but yeah, when it runs at 60 frames, it's a sweet experience. But yeah, we're gonna get straight into the first topic, which is kind of related to Cyberpunk, because it's actually coming out the day that this comes out, which is the PS5. The PS5s are out in the wild finally. Oh my gosh, these people are moving so slow. I can't believe what they're doing. I think they might be scared, but they've pretty much sent it out.
I was about to say first, Tony, last week you were saying you don't think the influencers are gonna get it first. To be honest, you did say that. I'm just saying.
That's true. I was wrong there. I hold my hands up. I was wrong.
You're right. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right. But what I've noticed is they actually haven't sent it to a particular media outlet, which is Digital Foundry, or maybe they just haven't come out and said that they have it yet. So because they're the people that would compare the Xbox Series X and the PS5, so we have to kind of wait and see what happens there. It's going to be very interesting what happens with that. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that, guys, on PS5 finally sending it out?
Well, it'll be good to see. I mean, obviously, at the moment, they're under embargo, so they've only shown the boxes and stuff. I'm assuming probably by like next week, Friday, we'll probably start hearing some sort of reviews. But it would be good to hear. I mean, obviously when the Xbox came out and then the heating problems and stuff like that came out, so it would be good to hear whether PS5 has any type of problems like that. Obviously they said the UI is in 4K and stuff like that. So yeah, it'd be all right to hear how the PS5 has actually changed from the PS4, innit? So yeah, just before we get in it.
What about you, so what are you anticipating?
I think it's going to be the same stuff like we got from the Xbox. They sent it to Austin Evans, Marcus Brownlee, and Lou Unbox Therapy. So we're guaranteed to get some sort of comparison video, unless one of the companies said you're not allowed to compare them, which I don't think they would have done. I think the comparison videos will be interesting, even though I don't think it makes much difference. It'll just be interesting to see. And maybe, I hope they've sent them some next-gen games to play.
Yeah, what games do you see them coming out with, CJ? Or sending to them?
Well, I'd like to see Cyberpunk, but I doubt it. I can't imagine that's coming straight off the bat. So I think it's going to be a lot of the old games, and they're just going to show the backwards compatibility. I don't think they're going to want to let the new games be released until everyone can play it. I don't think it's going to be they're going to be given anything in advance. I think they've given them the consoles, but that's more for just first off unboxing and those reviews straight away. But I expect it to be, some of the older games that people just playing Ghost, because that's going to be compatible 60 frames as well. You probably see a few FIFA games and stuff like that. I can't imagine, but I don't know what games are there to you reckon that we're seeing with launch. I can't see them giving them Spider-Man or anything along the lines of that.
I think they might have, well, if not Spider-Man, I think they might have Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure Call of Duty is probably done. Yeah. That's meant to come out. Well, it's coming out about 2 weeks' time on PS4 and Xbox. I'm assuming it's going to come out day one on PS5. So I'm pretty sure they'll probably give that.
Go on.
Yeah. Sorry, go on. Yeah, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, I think that Astrobot's Playroom is all but confirmed, because that's meant to be pre-installed.
Yeah.
PS5s, so they'll probably be able to play that all the way through.
Do you think that these influencers will be doing their kind of unboxing videos and all that now, and like pre-prepping it?
Yeah.
For once.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I think that's the best part about it, is that they've been given time to do it, so they can add some real nice effects to it, and really break it down and see what parts of the console looks good. I always like a good unboxing, so I'll be interested to see that. I don't know if any of them will do any live ones. I doubt it.
Probably not, innit? So I think they will run the embargo. So
exactly.
So. I ain't waiting 5 days to open up this thing. I'm opening it straight away. Yeah.
And then live unboxing soon come. Just tearing it apart.
I'll tear it apart. I haven't even set up the camera yet.
I hope that they've actually been working on it pretty much during the weekend, and then once Monday hits, they can just release content, because that would be perfect. Exactly. That would probably be the most ideal thing for them to do. So yeah, that's PlayStation. They're finally going out in the wild. There is another topic that we're gonna move straight into after that, though, because it's quite telling that this guy is kind of all over the place. I'm not too sure, because with basically what we're speaking about is Xbox pretty much, Phil Spencer has come out and said that basically expect us to come out with a streaming stick, so you can pretty much play xCloud and Xbox Game Pass games on there, instead of pretty much just using it strictly on your iPhone or your Android phone or anything like that. So I don't know what this guy's strategy is completely. He's always saying
everything and anything. We want to do every single market possible. Anything he sees that's good, he's like, I want some of that. Yeah. Those Fire Sticks
he's the kind of guy, he will ask you, have you got an Xbox? You say no. He will say, there you go. Like, you have to take it, whether you like it or not. You have to take it and go and play it. That's it.
Pretty much. Let's get into that.
But I think it's something so small but it makes so much sense. But for those people that are PC gaming and they've got it on their laptops and stuff, you're not always going to be able to. But especially with people that build their desktops, you're not always going to be able to take your desktop with you. You're not going to take your laptop with you. So the fact that you still have that capability, if you've got your own, dongle, Fire Stick, something along the lines of that, to play at anybody's home, if the way it sounds is going to be on any TV as well. If you don't want to, there's always a limitation with phones and tablets and stuff with their battery life. So this dongle could be the difference. Some people, you can what is it called? Chromecast and stuff like that onto your screens or whatever. Yeah. That's not always what you want to do. So this dongle makes so much sense. It does.
Yeah. Well, it looks like he's building like a proper ecosystem. Like when I read the news here, literally all I could think about was Apple. And I was thinking he's literally like, it's going to get to a point, something in the house has to be Xbox related, whether you like it or not. It has to be, whether, like we've spoken in the past, maybe some TVs in the future might come pre-installed with xCloud or something like that. Whether you get this like streaming stick, whether you get the Series S, whether you get the Series X, something, you haven't got an excuse come the next year to not have a reason to not play Xbox anymore. So that's why it's coming like,
he's got his Xbox fridge. They sent him a fridge.
I'm telling you, wait, you might be able to play Xbox on it. Who knows?
Oh man, that's a great piece of work from them. I love stuff like that. It's so childish, but I love it. But you're right,
the caveat with the dongle is it needs to be running Series X rather than Series S, because that will hold it back. Because from what I've seen, I can still get a Series S today with relative ease.
Yeah.
Well, in
fact, sorry, go on, Tony.
No. I was just gonna ask, Ams, if you were to get something Xbox related right now, what would it be, or would you just stick with your laptop?
Series X. The only reason I wouldn't stick with my laptop is because from what I've seen, the games on Game Pass PC aren't the same as the ones on PC on the console. Sorry. Yeah. So down the line, if they're putting the exclusive, they might not put them all on PC. They might put some on PC and then all of them on console. I
think what they will do, I think they'll still put all of their games, Xbox games, on PC. I don't think they're going to put like big AAA third-party games into Xbox Game Pass on PC, but they'll put them on the Xbox, if you know what I mean. But
even like Doom Eternal, they own that now, but they didn't put it on PC.
That's an example of a game that I'm speaking about. I know that they own it, but at the same time, like they put Red Dead Redemption on Game Pass, but they didn't put it on the PC version. You know what I mean? So
and Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
Warhammer Vermintide, all of these games, it's like, these are games I want to play, but I don't own an Xbox console, so I can't play them.
Exactly.
Wait, then you know what you got to do then.
I'm not getting a Series S. I'm not getting a dongle.
I'm just going to take a note of the date and time. I'll make sure I come back to this one when I see that console set up in your bedroom right behind you there on the left.
I've always said I'm getting a Series X. I've been on it. I'm not getting a Series S. Nothing can convince me to get that.
I was going to ask you see with the Series S, because obviously when it came out, like I for one, I was saying like, oh, this is going to sell out quickly and all of that, £250 and that. But obviously, as Alex said, you can still go to Argos or Currys or whatever and get it. Like, do you think it's going to sell well, or it's just going to? Do you still think so?
I'm convinced.
I think you don't understand how easy it is to just be at Christmas and say, do you know what, £250, why not? Like I'm talking about the mums out there as well. Like you don't even, that's not something you pre-order. Your mum's not gonna go out and pre-order an Xbox Series S for you. Do you know what I mean? That's something you see and you say, oh yeah, what is that? The new Xbox?
The new Xbox.
Oh yeah, £250. Wow, I'll buy that for my son. Why not?
My son was telling me it's $450. What's he on about?
That's wilding when he gets it. Take it back. I don't want it.
Definitely. Still counts as a sale though.
Big trouble.
Definitely. But what are your thoughts then? And you don't feel like it will anymore?
I mean, obviously with the pre-orders, it doesn't look like. Well, I don't know until we actually hear the numbers. but you can still go anywhere and get it right now. I don't see it selling that much because it's going to get to a point. I'm sure most people are saving up for 4K TVs and stuff like that now. So why are you going to get a 1080p console? It doesn't make any sense. You might as well just buy an Xbox One X.
The thing is,
Not even always 1080.
Yeah.
There's games that run at 900p on that.
Wow.
Okay, no, wait.
Wow.
Let's be real. Wait, let's chill. Let's chill. Let's chill. The thing is, I'm not defending what Ams has just said. That's very true. The thing is, though, from the contrast that I've seen, there's actually still games that are going to be coming out that are going to be capable of running at 4K on the Series S. So that means that I can still output a 4K signal, I guess, but it's the majority of games are going to be scaled back for 1440p, 1080p, and then the odd game will also run at 4K and at 900p. Like the game that you're talking about is Yakuza, isn't it? Like a Dragon. Apparently, is running at 900p, but that's the 60 frames per second version. So that kind of makes sense. The 4K version is actually going to be 1440p 30. It's not 4K. It's not even 4K. It's 1440p. Okay. So I guess
the opposite of what I want. I'll take 4K and ray tracing with 30. I don't know who's taking 60 with 900p.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend that for anyone. That's really bad. I don't know what these people at Sega did, but we have to see what happens with that. I just personally think like I'm getting to the stage where I'm thinking with this whole what Phil Spencer said now. You know me, I'm a lover of Stadia. I'm just looking at Xbox and I'm just thinking these guys are actually knocking it out of the park. Like they're just going every avenue. Like what? And I look at my Stadia controller every now and again. I'm just like, why do I still have you? Like why are you still here? Like because it's like they're actually doing everything that you would want someone to do. Like it's what Xbox are giving you.
And they've said this competitor could give us a run-in. So what we're going to do is we're going to stop that. Yeah, we're going to just crash them in every angle. We obviously get that. Even if it costs a little bit, they might not make the money they think they're going to make on it. They might not even be looking to make that money on it. They might just be thinking, we don't need another competitor in the market. We need to make sure we can phase them out. If someone wants to go to Stadia just for these small bits of capability, we'll spend the money to make sure that we don't lose them in that market.
Yeah.
And in that market fight, he's winning all day long.
And this is the thing, though. This is the thing with xCloud as well. And I'm realizing they just need to make like 2 moves to basically completely eradicate Stadia, which is make it so that you can, the people that are streaming and buy Xbox, their streaming stick in the future, they can actually buy individual games and stream them instead of having to buy a console or PC and then play it that way. And the second one I can't remember right now, but
leave Stadia to their own devices and they'll destroy themselves.
But yeah, that's pretty much all they need to do. Like it's actually nuts when you actually consider it, because there's a console out there. If it's like, oh yeah, you have the streaming stick and you're thinking, I want higher fidelity, or I want to maybe start buying my games or something like that. Oh yeah, there's an Xbox Series S out there for you. That's a cheap entryway. Oh, you want even better? You got a 4K TV, Xbox Series X. That's even better and higher fidelity. And then they also, I think this is the point that I was talking about. They just need to make it so that if you actually have a console, you can stream to any device. So it can be your MacBook or your laptop or anything from your Xbox or something like that. So that's pretty much all they need to do, and then it's a wrap, to be honest with you. So yeah, man.
I think we need to match Stadia's streaming ability as well, though. From what I've heard from you and from other people who's played all the streaming services, Stadia's at the moment is unmatched in terms of lag and all of that. So
and streaming quality.
That's
very true.
Yeah, they set a bar that people need to start matching.
And I feel like they're gonna integrate that, because when you think about it, Phil Spencer's already come out and said as well that they're gonna put the Xbox Series X in their Azure servers. basically. So they're going to replace the consoles that they have right now. So you're going to get higher fidelity. You'll get the 4K
in the
streaming
future, yeah.
probably as well. So yeah, man, it's looking a bit it's looking a bit bad.
Well, it'll be interesting. Yeah.
Go on, what were you going to say?
Very
Anna?
interesting.
What were you going to say?
Nothing. Well, before I was going to talk about, I think we spoke about Amazon Luna last week or 2 weeks ago, innit? Because obviously, once they get into the market as well, it's going to be. Well, I don't really know because you're going to have two giants fighting with unlimited sums of money. Just saying, just say you have to pay and buy this game. That's it, or buy the stream stick.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's very
You
true.
don't tell Amazon can go away, man. I don't want you
They
convincing
won't.
Apple to get
Listen,
involved. Both just go away, man.
Jeff Bezos for president 2024.
I know. As soon as Apple comes in, gaming is going to get hurt bad
Why'd you say that?
Where?
because they're going to release their £1,500 console and just buy everyone.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
They're just going to buy everyone.
Yeah.
Back.
New
And you need to
acquisitions.
Apple.
They're going to say new acquisitions: Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft. We bought them all.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's pretty much that subject. Oh wait, actually, we'll speak about CJ. You had a subject that you wanted to speak about. I believe it was Ghost of Tsushima Legends ratings or something like that. What did you want to-
No, it's the raids. So I believe it's on the 30th of October, if I remember correctly. It's raids coming out, which what I'm looking forward to. I'm not too sure. I didn't read too much about what it is you're going to be able to do on there. I just know that you will need 4 players on there. I think from what Am said to me, you're going to need a minimum key level of like 100. So there's a lot of playing to do before you're even going to be able to play it at all anyway. So, but it's interesting because when I think of raids, I'm thinking of, like the movie that, and I'm just thinking, there's
Well, we're going to a flat.
What they've said about it is that it's going to be a lot harder than anything you've played so far, and you're going to have to think tactically and be patient. So it's not going to be like just killing lots of people. There's going to be I assume different bosses that require different techniques. A lot of the enemies where you need to break their magical shield down to kill them. It's going to be a tough one, I think.
I think we're gonna have to jump back on that one. Get our key levels a bit higher, guys. To be honest,
My mouth's looking a bit meaty at the moment.
Yeah, and that's definitely true. That's something that we're probably going to try and stream. I'm going to assume as well when that comes out. That's coming out in about a week. We'll definitely try and do that if we actually reach the level quick enough. Let's see if that happens. So yeah, there's that bit of news. The final bit of news is more of a thinking point. It's an opinion piece that we're gonna discuss. Kind of. It's about a man called Alex Hutchinson on Twitter. He actually came out. He was a creative director of a studio for Stadia, and he pretty much just came out and said, to quote him, not exactly, but he pretty much said the people that are worried about streaming music while playing games on like channels like Twitch and stuff like that should actually be more worried at the fact that they're streaming games that they don't have a license to stream in the first place. So what he's basically saying is, when you've paid your £55 or £60 to play a game, well, sorry, £40 because you get the disc for cheap. My bad.
Oh yeah.
But when you've actually paid that amount of money, you actually don't have the right to stream it on places like YouTube or Twitch or make content around that game itself. You actually just have the right to play the game, which people have actually come out and said he's actually technically right. But at the same time, a lot of studios that actually make games would prefer for streamers to actually play their game, stream their game, because it brings them publicity, and it just helps the game, revenue in itself. I'm sure there's games like Among Us, which I'm sure all of us know about, and games like Fall Guys that if they didn't actually have that publicity,
they would be dead. Yeah,
definitely.
2K and EA must have been telling him, shut up. Half of their advertisement for their packs. No, sorry. I'd probably say 90% of the advertisement on packs is from YouTubers opening packs and getting good players, people, and people think, oh, I can do that then.
$5 later.
And the thing is, Ams is probably going to cuss me for this, but there's a game that I actually play constantly called Hearthstone. And when it comes to... okay, he's laughing already. But anyway, when it comes to... they release content every 3 months. And when it actually comes to revealing their new content, they actually bring streamers that actually stream their game to reveal the content itself. So, and then I don't know why you're laughing, but yeah, it just what I'm basically just trying to say is these people are very influential in the publicity for these kind of games, because this game has been going on for like 5 years. It was been out since 2014 actually, so it was longer than that. So they really kind of need these people to keep this game going and stuff like that. So I don't know what he's thinking with that kind of tweet.
I mean, that's an attention tweet. He's tweeting to say something just to be heard. Like, we all know that anyway. But no game developer, nobody is gonna try and sue an influencer because they are streaming their game, because they'd lose so much money anyway because people stop playing their game overall.
I don't know.
And that is a risky move.
Nintendo.
You say that though,
It's a risky move, man. You have to think, if you sue one person and people start seeing that, they're going to lose all the marketing that they're getting for free for people that are streaming games. Do you know how much money they're saving through marketing by not having to do marketing because people are doing it for them for free? That is madness.
But you say that, but then you have companies like Activision or whatever that someone will be playing Call of Duty or whatever, or have a Call of Duty clip in a YouTube video, and they will copyright it and copyright strike it because you got 5 seconds of Call of Duty in it, kind of thing, innit? But then for some other people, they just let it slide in it. So I don't know, but technically it does have a point, because I'm pretty sure when you start a game, it does say that it's for like sole use or whatever. It shouldn't be for business use and blah blah blah. So technically, if he doesn't care about the publicity side, people that are streaming should not technically be making money out of it, because you are meant to literally be playing it for yourself, innit?
Because when you actually think about it, it's fine for games that that I just named, to be honest with you, like Fall Guys, like Among Us, because those games are actually multiplayer. They're kind of different every single time you play it. It's very based on the person that's actually playing the game. So and the thing is, when you actually think about it, on the flip side of that, there's games that are very story based and they're very single player. Games like Spider-Man, like God of War, like The Last of Us 2. When you actually really think about it, sure, the games are fun to play. But when you watch that, like imagine like a game like I've forgotten, Death Stranding, you can just watch the whole game. You can watch the whole game's cutscenes and know the story without playing the game once. And you're probably better off doing that, to be honest with you, if I'm being don't actually play the game, just watch it. But like when you really think about it, that's almost borderline like watching a movie online. True. To be honest with you, so that's and if you actually did that, you wouldn't need to play the game at all. It's very black.
It is true. I mean, but you can watch a game like Spider-Man, and you can watch it and then find out the story. But then you look at it; it looks so fun to play. In your head, you're like, why am I going to continue watching it? Like, or you might continue watching it, but you want to get the game itself, just to experience it, kind of thing. So it works in both ways as well. And there are some games that you probably just watch it once you've watched. Like I watched, I think the Rad Brad played Avengers,
Yeah.
As soon as I watched that, I was like, mate, I'm not buying this game anyway. So I know the story now. I'm done in it.
Yeah.
But other games, I would like to play it myself still in it. So
Yeah.
God of War, where my colleague who I don't think he's played any consoles in generations, but he wanted to buy a PS4 and God of War just because he saw some clips of God of War.
Wow.
I think that can be powerful on those.
yeah,
It's a lot of small battles that just don't need to be fought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you have to think about how much it'll cost. Like, they're still streaming movies online. Do you know what I mean? And they're still making millions of pounds because on box office debuts, hundreds of millions of pounds. They're not really bothered by it. I mean, if it's to the extent where they start to see someone is making a lot of money lucratively, where they should be making the money, then they're going to step in. But we know it, but it's just one of those things that's not going to be, they're not going to bother about it. It's like if Apple was going to try and fight every single person that are trying to use AirPods or that style of AirPod or the shape of the box or whatever. There's so many different products. It's the same. It is what it is. You're always going to have that market. So even though this one is quite obvious and they're aware of it, it's not something that they're tapping into yet. If they were doing it, which is what they were kind of doing when they allowed Twitch and that stuff to be on the consoles, which is what I thought they might start to do with PS5 itself, whereas and potentially Xbox is where they're going to have their own, like they have their own streaming platform on there, and they want to make it that you can only stream on their streaming platform. Do you know what I mean? So eventually you might be right where they say, you know what, there's none of our games, nothing that's been from any developer will be allowed to be put on YouTube. You would only be able to do it through us, and then anybody that wanted to watch it through us, it will either be a subscription where they can benefit from the funds from that, or nobody's making money off it. Maybe one or the other, and I think that's the way they were going to try and go. But I don't know where they're going with it at the moment.
I think they'll kill themselves if they've done that.
To answer your question, I don't think it's that way, pretty much, because the guy that actually came out and said it, he works for Stadia, as I said. Google pretty much came out with a statement and said, yeah, this guy's thoughts are not.
He's lost it, mate.
Pretty much, he said.
We don't know that guy.
Yeah,
it's Arsenal and Oval, isn't it? We do not agree.
Yeah, so they pretty much said his thoughts don't represent Stadia, YouTube, or Google's. So just throw that out of the way. The person that actually represents gaming on YouTube, he came out and said, look, streamers and developers have a good relationship. All tides, what's the saying? All tides rise when boats rise. I was like, I don't know, but you get the point. You get the point.
Shocking. What an attempt.
I don't even know why I tried that. But yeah, you get the point what I'm trying to say. But it's just a silly comment, and it's just really made his life, I'm sure, a bit more difficult, especially because he works for Google. I'm sure you got to speak into.
That's a damn shame.
So that's pretty much going to be the podcast for this week. Next week, I'm sure we're gonna have so much to talk about. There's a lot that's gonna happen. Make sure you join us for that. Make sure you join us in a couple hours because, as I said, there will be some spankings, pools in FIFA, by the way. So make sure you like, subscribe, and we will catch you in the next episode of the MultiTap Gaming Podcast. Take care.